Good evening.
Good evening. Good to see you all again. First of all, Diane Melendez, Avondale, Florida. I'd like to congratulate Mr. Blaylock and the JTA for using a very interesting tact, which we see used a lot here in Jacksonville, is where you have a city agency come up to a public hearing and explain their agenda and then parlay that into several minutes of discussion while the public sits back and listens to some pre-decided issues. Thank you, Jack Webb, for maintaining the forum and letting the people know this is not about a bully pulpit for special interests or the JTA or anybody else. It's about the community. Mr. Blaylock began by saying he's worried about the people. Well, I'm one of the people. I don't ride the bus, but you better believe I'm worried about the people. This conversation has been convoluted in such a fashion that this room is filled with people who are here to defend their right to have bus shelters, which is in and of itself, in fact, a red herring. I believe the bus riders deserve bus shelters. I don't think anybody in this room does not agree with that. But what I don't think the bus riders understand is they are being tricked into believing the only way to have those bus shelters is to allow a proliferation of unsightly and unneeded visual blight throughout the community, which will also create potential hazards to those communities. This issue is being driven by special interests who want to advertise, have billboards, and have inroads into certain powerful people in this community. I think there was a man up here, Dave Cohen, who's an attorney for JTA. I would hope you would ask Mr. Cohen, who also spoke to you last time, about whether or not this city was going to put itself at risk with lawsuits. He said, well, really, it wasn't a problem. It is going to be a huge problem. And I find out that Mr. Cohen apparently also is legal representation for Clear Channel, who has an 80% interest in billboards. How can one end work against the other, and how can you rely upon the answers you've been giving? To those of you who represent the urban core community, do not sell out your constituents this way. They can have bus shelters, but they don't have to have bus shelters covered with every manner of advertisement that is geared to take their money. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Melendez.